All right, we are live and welcome in to all the folks on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, everyone watching. We're live for session number 162 of Morning Journal. Super thrilled to have you here. We're just getting warmed up, kind of hanging out a bit. Hope that you're doing well. We got Aunt Capone in the building. Aunt must have turned on them notifications. I appreciate that, fam. I hope that you are doing swell this morning. Jova thing that says that I was just at my grandparents' house, just visiting, and they hit me with that had to sleep on that old springy mattress. Yeah, I could dig it. Man, imagine. Well, at least, you got some medical knowledge, so you are able to take care of that, and you don't, you're not going to fall victim, hopefully, to any rare, unfortunate side effects. Man. All right. So as we typically do, we're going to start off with a little bit of gratitude. Yeah, tetanus fun. So we're asked, how was my morning? My morning was pretty good. I mean, I slept for a change. I slept until my alarm went off. So fortunately for me, I had did a little bit of prep. I figured out what was going on with my camera, so I'm not looking so ashy or ashen, as long as we keeping it old timey, so I don't look so ashy on camera. I figured out what was going on with my webcam. So, and I did a bunch of prep yesterday so that hopefully this morning's stream would start a little more smoothly. And so far, I guess I'm doing all right with that. So I slept until my alarm came, had some coffee, watched some highlights from the NBA last night. Since I was all prepped up, I didn't feel rushed or anything. So we ready, I'm ready to roll. Shout out to being prepared, right? I know Hyrith is a big time preparer. I know the last time we spoke, Hyrith, we were talking about the storm coming through, dealing with the cold. I hope that you are, I hope that, well, you're here, so I guess at least that round of it is, worked out. Open up this request box here. Let's see. It's always good to start out by acknowledging what we're grateful for. Welcome in Captain Phantom Paradox. Captain Phantom Paradox is in the building. So we starting the conversation about gratitude. Howard says, I weathered it beautifully, wonderfully. Well, I'm glad to hear that. It's good to know, right? It's good to know that you are, when you figure out that you can weather the storm, that's a great thing. Gives you a lot of confidence in your prep. So Britt says, I am most grateful for almost being 7 months pregnant, and my mom and my little siblings not catching the tornado. Yeah, that was really something, right? And wow, so you're looking at what? You about to bring another Pisces into the world there, Britt? Is that what it's looking like? Um, yeah. Ashley's going to be an Aries. All right, all right, all right. I honestly, you know, it's hard for me to keep up with that stuff. Harvard said that I had a family of deer hunkered down in my yard, and I fed them a bag of potatoes. Deer like raw potatoes like that? I had no idea. I had no idea they like potatoes like that. Brit's due date is March 30th. I know you're ready for that. And Capone is grateful for both jobs and my sanity over on YouTube. Ant must be at one of those jobs now. I know Ant Capone used to go to work early in the morning. He's a chef. I'm not sure if that's exactly what he's working on right now, but I remember hearing the kitchen in the background doing that prep. So, Britt, is it just going to be one this time? I know last time it was two. Is it going to be just one? I know you like to double up. So, Britt says, I'm having a baby boy and his name is going to be Eli. That's a cool name. Captain Phantom is sharing some gratitude. He says, I'm grateful for evil and negativity and fear and terror beyond cosmic imagination and fear that freezes a person's soul. I appreciate your I appreciate the growth in your writing, Captain Phantom. That was very, very well written. I know you got to stay in character, So I'm glad to hear that. Bray says, I do not appreciate G trying to jinx my uterus. I mean, It's not a jinx. It was just a question. Were you expecting twins? It wasn't a surprise twinning, was it? You knew. I mean, I think that okay. So you're a triplet, so you already know that you be rolling them you be rolling them multiples. Captain Phantom says, I've been reading horror novels lately. Yeah, Rich says, yeah, I'm susceptible. Man, that's got to be, yeah. That's a lot to wrap your head around. Yeah, Cap, what are you reading exactly? What is the latest novel you've been reading? So I guess if I had to kind of think about what I'm grateful for, it is definitely the fact that in 2 days, I will be making my journey down to North Carolina for the holidays. And go down there, get to spend time with the family, eat some good food, and just see all the people. get to walk around, be out in the country, get out of the city. So I'm grateful for being able to spend another holiday down home. I was there last year, but prior to that, prior to last year, it had been a couple years since I'd been in North Carolina on Christmas. Yeah, that cackalack. Yep. Aunt already know. I guess Aunt know because it always used to come up in our freestyles. So Howard says, "Oh, we're in North Carolina. I have family there. You want me to drop my pen?" Um, so I'm going to a really small village named Eureka, um, which is super small. The closest town is Goldsboro, which is a moderate sized town. There's an Air Force base there. That's what it's most known for. It's in the eastern part of the state. So Cyber Shots is in the building. What's happening, Cyber Shots? Good to see you this morning. We got the crew assembled on YouTube, listening in. I love it. Britt has family in North Carolina that they are avoiding at the moment. Well, I hope that you can get that resolved, because it's not fun to be, avoiding anything really. It's just such a disturbance to your peace when you don't feel like you can actually just breathe and be. Oh, you said they don't know you're expecting. So you just gonna drop the bomb on them. You're just gonna show up with the baby in tow. So everybody listening in, we got Cyber Shots in the building as well on YouTube. I guess that could be a pretty neat surprise then, as long as it's not like avoiding them because you don't like them. That'll be a nice little surprise. You got to do all your photos. You got to do all your posts from the neck up. Like you got to be just, all your photos is chinning up. You got to hit all the right angles, else they're going to catch you slipping. I guess another thing that you can do when you get pregnant, if you want to stay current, is just to take a whole bunch of pictures as soon as you get pregnant and you find out, and just drop them joints out slowly so people can't notice the change. You just you just be dropping posts on social media just like you normally be doing, acting like it's today. Just kind of sprinkle it out, and then show up with the baby. Like, how did you have that baby? It's just like the next day, all these regular pictures, and then one day you take the picture holding the baby. That's how you got to hit them. Yeah, I think that's the vibe. All right. Yeah. You gotta make it a bigger. You can look like make it like a, how do you call it? This is like performance art. Make it a big thing. Make it a big thing. All right. So here we are. Let's get ready to start talking about our conversation for today. Of course, if you just joined us and you want to share what you've been grateful for, feel free to drop it in the chat or drop it in the request box. But I want to get ready to start thinking about our conversation for today. Esso has just joined us. Welcome in, Esso. I hope that you are feeling well and doing well. It's always nice to have you here. I feel like I can relax when I see you come in, at least for the first 15 minutes before you go to sleep. Oh man. I mean, which is fine, which is fine. I mean, it's fair. You in Cali, it's 3 in the morning over there, so you know, you just come in and handle what you can handle. Oh, you said you up tonight, huh? Not tonight? Okay. Cool. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and get into our conversation. All right. All right. Here we go. So I'm trying to, I don't know. I did it again. Let me hit record. I always keep, I keep forgetting to record a clean audio feed because I have, my setup is way too complicated. So I like to have a little bit of vibe and music. Of course, when you're listening on Spoon, you're getting a completely different audio experience than you get when you're listening, um, you know. But I always want to record like a separate, clean audio feed so that I can easily edit excerpts and stuff like that. Um, Kaloli is here. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. Esso slept most of the day. If you jealous of Esso for sleeping most of the day, throw me something in the chat. All right, folks, here we go. Our conversation for today. All right. I'll say we have more access to knowledge and information than any time in history. Um, we, and it's always, and new knowledge is being created every day at extraordinary rates. Collectively, we discover new ideas and approaches to doing things. And we have this enhanced ability to connect and collaborate and problem solve. And, it's everything is just so fast. And much of this has to do with the speed of our communication. And it allows the good ideas to spread more quickly. And the technologies, they augment our ability to compute things faster, make better guesses, test those guesses, and improve our outcomes. Now, I know that Hireth is one that could say that these advances are not without their drawbacks, right? There's always a trade-off. It's true that good ideas can spread quickly, but also noise spreads even more quickly. And I think that it's not necessarily bad ideas that constitute the noise, or not just bad ideas, because sometimes it's hard to distinguish between like what's a bad idea and what's just an idea that I don't agree with. It's not necessarily a bad thing because we don't know everything, right? So I think another way to think about the noise is the irrelevant ideas. There's a lot of stuff that's just interesting, is interesting, but ultimately it doesn't really do anything for us. It doesn't serve to enhance our lives or serve our growth in any way. It's just fun, and that's cool. It's fun to dive into a random spot in this ever-ending fountain of knowledge and information and just revel in just learning things. And I encourage people to take advantage of this unique thing, this unique opportunity we have to just kind of partake in all sorts of knowledge. But I would say sometimes there's a challenge that you got in your life that you need to figure out how to untangle. Or maybe, you got a goal that you're trying to reach. So what would happen is rather than just kind of randomly, indiscriminately, just taking all sorts of things in, you got a little bit more intentional and you started to ask yourself serious questions. I can learn anything I want to learn. The knowledge and information is there. So what if I focused on learning something that's actually going to make my life a little bit better? It's going to help me figure out ways to solve my problem. What would that look like? How would that impact my life and my experience? And what's more, what if I decided to actually share what I learned, because we also have that opportunity as well. So today's conversation is going to be about learning things and sharing what you learn and the unique opportunities we have to do that. So if we are ready for the next prompt, go ahead and drop a heart in the chat and we can get this conversation going. Once again, in case you didn't know, this is Morning Journal, session number 162. We've done this 162 mornings here in 2021. Every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. is when it starts. So if this is a groove or a vibe that you like, if this is a way that you think would be good for you to start your day, I invite you to join us. So Hirath says, before we get into it, the caveat is to be mindful to not lose yourself in new knowledge and forget the basics. J-Man, what's up? Yeah, we're going to get into that. I think that as long as you're intentional and you are focused and focus your exploration on specific problems that you're trying to solve and specific growth that you're trying to achieve, then you don't necessarily run the same danger. So the first prompt. Where we at? So what is something you should have learned in school but never did? What is something that you should have learned in school but never did? Now, this could be you should have learned it and you just didn't pay attention, or you should have learned it but it wasn't offered. Either way, if your response is sort of an indictment of the education system, or if it's just your personal failing, all right, so I'm going to open up the request box. I love your responses in the chat, but I'm not going to see them all. So give it some thought. Should have learned. It's like G's talking to me. Hirath says, basically everything. Public school was almost entirely a waste of my time. Kaloli is self-check. You dry snitching. Kaloli, don't call yourself out. You did. I wasn't gonna say nothing. You brought it back. So, Cybershots want to see that set up. Cybershots, what I'll do is I'll take a picture and I'll post it on Twitter. So anybody wants to see what my setup looks like, I'll post it on Twitter. Because it's pretty elaborate. It's needlessly complex. So what is something that you should have learned in school? We have a response from Jehovah Thickness. Jehovah Thickness says, I should have learned how to file taxes instead of doing BS math equations that I'm not even using. MXB squared bullshit, or how to have good mental health. Okay. Never Rose is here. Good morning, Never Rose. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. All right. So, filing taxes. That's something that's come up a few times. What else? What else we got? What else do you think you should have learned in school that you didn't? you didn't, for whatever reason. Howard says, I skipped years of high school. I tested out in the end and graduated in the top ninth percentile. Say, yo. So it was too easy. Yeah, I guess that it kind of comes to the question, and I was gonna make this a prompt, but I guess the conversation overall today is like, what is school for? I love how people say public school taught me nothing, and all of you are typing in chat and spelling words that you probably learned how to spell in school. But I mean, there's just problems, but let's not exaggerate. You know what I'm saying? Let's not exaggerate. Just because you didn't get everything you want, let's not say that you didn't get anything. Good morning, Bex. Great to have you this morning. All right. Harvard says I had college level reading by third grade. How about that? Yeah, you were exceptional. All right. Captain Phantom has a response. And again, to make sure that I don't miss anything, I encourage you to go ahead and respond in the request box. Captain Phantom says, I should have learned how to make friends, but I don't mind because I'm a cold-blooded supervillain, hell-bent on causing destruction. Now I'm only have a few friends online. Okay. Quasha is here. Abby is here. Good morning, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. It's like, ugh. I hear that. I hear the stretches and yawns. I love that for y'all. Thanks. Thank you for the like. I appreciate it. Quasha says, what I should have learned was that it's a scam. What I should have learned was that it's a scam. Man. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it seems like nobody had a great experience. Did anybody have a good experience in high school? It's like, oh man, it was great. Kaloli says, financial literacy, how to plant a garden, how to throw or block a punch. Well, you could have learned that if you wanted to. You could have learned that in the bathroom or out back. That's your fault. That's not their fault. Physics, I should have taken that class, and I dropped career planning, how to write a resume, and sit through a job interview. Now, so a lot of these classes that y'all said you should have learned, I know when I went to high school, there were electives that offered a lot of this. A lot of the stuff, it was available. I just chose not to take it. So you're gonna have to figure out, who's to blame here. So I stopped by Quasha's live last night, as she mentioned, and it was just background noise because she wasn't even on mic. Didn't know she was live. I wasted my likes on her live. I should have sat there for a minute and make sure that she knew, but it's all good. It's no problem. I'm not. It is what it is. I'm cool. It still helps. So Hyrith says, what I learned in high school was that people are cruel and that the wealthy and popular will always be treated favorably. I learned to avoid people that are the center of the crowd. Kaloli says, I should have learned how to write checks. I don't think you need a whole class. They can teach you how to do that in like the first hour of one class. You just ask somebody. They don't need to dedicate a whole block of instruction. Oh man. It's a fill in the blank form, yo. Come on. Oh, okay. I took a career planning course, and all I remember was them talking about how to apply for college and how to write checks. It seems like that wasn't a very effective class. Again, you could have learned that better somewhere else. All right. So, Abby says, for the longest time, my goal was to be a CNA, and I took pre CNA classes to help with the real one once I got out of school. Well, that didn't happen. Said, but alas. Eso says, my high school was very diverse in the types of electives, but the BS is in the mandatory classes. Like, what must I learn? That was where, that was the rub. Quasha says, I appreciate that doll they gave me. Now I can take care of a real baby without dropping it. Thanks. Thanks, high school. Farah Pandora, welcome in, folks. It's nice to have you this morning. We should be taught our legal rights and the laws that govern us. Ah, right. Eso says we should be taught time. I should have learned time management, self-defense, how to retire at 30. Man, they don't want that. Energetic hygiene, how to set boundaries, how to build connections. How to build connections. That's an interesting list. J-Man says, I should have learned telling people off for treating me poorly. All right. I should have spoken up. Jehovah Thingler says, because of school, I know what to do during a bomb threat and school shootings, which are sad. Said boundaries will be tough. The social hygiene, and I think they did teach personal hygiene. Health class, they teach personal hygiene. Farrah says, hey, I just played this app. Well, Farrah, welcome. Let me see what this is. What we got? Yeah, you just downloaded it. So welcome in. Thanks for joining us. Farrah is new, folks. So if you got any questions about how to navigate, just let us know. We're glad to have you here. Abby says, I felt that Jehovah's Kids were always scribbling gun threats on the wall. Vida Hermosa. How are you today? So we're talking about the things that we should have learned in school but never did. Now, I will say this. I think that there are a lot of things that we would want to know, but I think a deeper and maybe better question is to ask, is school the best place to learn it? given all the challenges that come with institution learning within the context of an institution, some of the things that we need to know, is school the best place to learn it? Abby says that came, my bad, that came out wrong. We were about to have a fight in the chat. Come out talking. Oh man. So let's get this straight. All right. Yeah, I guess the central question. Yeah, let's be cool. Everybody be cool. Howard says, I will say that I'm thankful for a few things. CPR, first aid, sex ed were all taught it to me in high school. Kalili said, my dad said, don't listen to them teachers. They don't know nothing. Oh man. Rita says, I believe that you learn the truth outside of school. Love that. Love that idea. Being able to find truth elsewhere. And I guess, yeah, the central question, and maybe as you think about this, what is school for? If you were here at the beginning of the conversation at the top of the hour, we were talking about the increased opportunities for us to be self-directed learners, you know? And Capone is here for the drama. He's like, uh-oh. And Capone, oh man. Yeah, what is school for is like a question. Howard says, I was smarter than my biology teacher. She was stupid and taught incorrect information. Yeah. Sigma, welcome in. How you feeling this morning? How are you doing? What is your physical state right now? Peter Mosa says, school is for us to learn how to be in society, but you learn the reality and gain what you want in real life. Sigma says, I am alive and well and grateful. All right. Well, now that everybody's kind of got that off their chest about school, of course, we are kind of solutions. The misinformation says you can't get pregnant because you had sex at night. All right. But stay in school, kids. Stay in school. Neverrose says, I should have learned how to think for myself. MK is here. Welcome in, MK. Nice to have you here. School is to teach us how to earn money, but not to think. Right. This is not, I do want to point out, I'm an educator. This is not in any way, shape, or form to encourage anyone to not go to school. And a lot of folks here are adults and have gone past that point, but we're talking about what school is for. So Aunt Capone shares over on YouTube, he should have learned real Black history. I heard that. Cybershots hit him with that amen. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Go ahead and drop a heart in the chat. We can go to the next prompt if y'all are ready. I think we can go to the next one. Because I think that Never wrote says I should have been homeschooled, honestly. All right. So here we are. And the question is, what is the most significant or challenging thing you learned by choice outside of school or work? What's the most significant or challenging thing that you learned by choice outside of school or work? There wasn't going to be a test, right? There wasn't going to be a credential at the end of learning this, but it's something that you decided that you wanted to learn and get good at. It wasn't like a requirement from HR that you had to check a box for. You would have been cool, just, Let me open up the request box. Now, you can include things that are related to your work, but I would say not required for your work. You know what I'm saying? It can be related to your work or your career, but nobody said you had to do it. So for Ann Capone over on YouTube, he says, the most significant and challenging thing that I learned by choice is to keep my mouth shut. Oh man, and it's hard when you got a mouthpiece not to use it. If you got something slick on cue 24/7, it's really hard not to pop off. Oh, I want to pop off all the time. I want to pop off all the time because I'm nice with it. I always got something slick in the queue. You wouldn't believe how many comments I've deleted in the chat before sending. There's a ever-running commentary of sharp, hurtful comments and jokes running in the back of my mind, but I just keep it to myself. Yeah. But life will teach you to shut up sometimes, Them consequences get on your back. So, shut up. Let me not say it like that. Let me fall back a little bit. Let me consider the big picture for a second. Jehovah Thickness says, I got all these typos. So for SO, I learned on my own to put myself first. Not to let everybody else's priorities impose on my reality. Yeah, that's a hard lesson to learn because it's scary, because our need for connection as human beings sometimes makes it scary to prioritize our needs because we are afraid of the backlash that might come from someone else. We're conditioned to do that in a lot of ways. So Jehovah Thickness says, I learned about my own disorder. Once I discovered I had Asperger's syndrome, I learned a lot about myself, and it was a great moment in my life. Yeah, that is powerful because I'm sure it answered a lot of questions for you. It's difficult to go through your life and your experience when things don't make sense. So when you develop that understanding and you understand sort of how your mind works and what that looks like, that can be truly transformative in a lot of areas of your life. So I'm excited for you. I'm glad for you having gone through that. See, I didn't attack you. There's no attack forthcoming. Cyber Shots over on YouTube says, I learned how to listen. I learned how to listen. I'm still learning. That's a lifelong lesson. We can always get better at that. It's so underrated, just listening. Because, like I said before, we all have access to means and ways and means to express ourselves and to spread our voice. So we want to use it. We want to be on the mic. And look at me. You know, I'm on the mic right now. So, but and even though I can't hear you, I can hear you. And my main reason for being here is to listen. So just, in my mind as I read what you say. Welcome in, Marmar. Thanks for being here. Irith says, my search for enlightenment has been a personal journey. Schools don't teach you that. Should they? They shouldn't, right? How could they? How could a school teach you that anyway, right? If everyone is on their own personal journey, there's no way that they could teach you that. Because then that would be something like indoctrination. So J-Man says, I have learned patience. I've learned patience. Now there are a lot of things in your life that can teach you patience. None of which you can actually, none of the things that'll teach you patience are things that you want. You don't want the things that's going to teach you patience, because by definition, the things that teach you patience are things that you have to endure. It's going to be painful. You learn patience through exercise, and it's hard. Abba says, I'm out here learning, because they be testing me, yo. Abby be like, ugh, Jesus, take the wheel. They so stupid. How could you be so stupid? Why do I have to suffer? Oh, we already did that one. Hirith says, I learned to use language more effectively. I learned that words have power, and the mastery of language changes the way you think as much as it changes how you communicate. Absolutely. I mean, for those who are linguistically inclined specifically, and for those who think conceptually, it is definitely a huge enhancement in the way that you think. We tend to think thoughts and language, for the most part, the ones that we can articulate, unless, of course, you are a dancer or a visual artist. Sometimes those concepts appear differently in our experience, but we live in a world built by words and communication and understanding. The transmission of ideas usually depends on the quality of the words that we use to share it with. So I can appreciate that. and Ira is nice with them, nice with the verbiage. I love a good turn of phrase, you know. Captain Phantom Paradox says, "On my own, I learned that positivity and happiness is a lie. Negativity, fear, and terror only exist in this expanding cosmic universe. Being positive is an illusion." uh, okay. Abby, "On my own, I learned I was never treated with respect from a significant partner until I was about 20. I had to learn to respect myself more. I had to learn that people wanted more from me than my body." That's powerful. And there's so many things that conspire against our understanding of that truth. We're bombarded with we are bombarded with messages that reinforce our insecurity, and not all of us are, surrounded by models that can give us the understanding and the tools to come to that realization. But 20 is actually um, 20 is actually a good time to learn that. Well, I mean, it would have been better to learn it sooner, but 20 is probably earlier than a lot of people get there for sure. And I know something about your, uh, yeah, you got a lot of great things happening for you right now. So I'm excited for you. All right. So Vita Hermosa says, ain't crazy. Vita Hermosa says, "To not trust everyone. I've learned to not trust everyone to speak up, but also be quiet. The working industry is a labyrinth, hence why so many people are tired of working. Corporate America is all about the money, not us." And then there's an ant down there. Jova Thickness says, "I'm not gonna lie, retail is for the breaks, especially this time of year." You said not us ants. So the thing about it, Vita, there is someone watching on YouTube named Ant. So it was just kind of funny. Money is the god of this modern world, and corruption and greed are its religion. Got a lot of disaffected folks in the chat. A lot of people going through a lot of difficult things. I can appreciate that. That's the lesson that you've taken from the experiences that you've had. All right. All right. So are we? Well, we're not quite ready for the next prompt. We can keep thinking about the things that we've learned by choice. I think a lot of us talked about a lot of the things that we've learned are sort of life lessons. Not necessarily, we've come to the conclusion. We've gathered lessons from the experiences that we've had, and not necessarily they were kind of imposed on us, And Neverose says it's hard for me to answer because most of the things I've learned were not by choice. So I definitely can see that. It feels like, you know, let me say that. Let me talk about, let me answer for myself and say some of the most significant or challenging thing that I learned by choice outside of work or school is um like production and like the video audio production thing. Like this is like a specific skill that I pursued um beyond what I learned in a formal environment. And like, the whole concept of storytelling in the way that I do it. Most of the things that I do for money now, I do because I gathered skills that I chose to gather. And I learned some things that allowed me to be in a position to exercise those in the marketplace and subsist off of that. So I could have learned these things in a school context, but the thing is, a lot of times the world is changing so quickly that by the time the information is categorized and put into a school curriculum, it's already outdated. So I've made the decision that I'm constantly going to be updating my skills and capabilities to create the things that I want to see. You know. Um, so you said your degree was by choice, but it was in school. Yeah, yeah, I could dig it. So yeah, I mean, I think that overall, I guess the general point that of this conversation is the fact that whatever we were lacking in our formal educational experience, we are in a unique time. Um, we're in a unique time where we can take control over our own learning. Vita says, I learned to use my God given talents, things that can't be taught. So I would say, so I think that talent, talents and gifts are amazing because the thing about it is you really can't do nothing about it. Either you use it or you don't, right? Um, but talent alone is pretty, it's usually insufficient. Talent alone is usually insufficient because there also needs to be a skill. Like there's always something you need to do to grow and get better. You don't come out the box as nice as you need to be. It's rare. I mean, almost infinitesimally rare. There's also the work that you need to do to hone it, the skill that you have to put behind it. So, so what you get is a seed. You have to tend it and grow it. Okay, hold on. We're gonna have a little bit of a Sorry for the brief disconnection. I'm back. I hope everyone is still here. I had like a reset. Can y'all hear me now? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay, cool. Sometimes, I randomly lose connection. That's just part of the game. But we are here. Okay. I don't know. See, here's the thing. The funny thing is, I didn't notice it, so I don't even know what y'all missed, but in what I was saying. But, nah, you know, we'll just have to charge that one to the game. Okay. So before we get ready to go to the next prompt, it's about that time. Uh, are all my managers still tied up? Hopefully so. Okay, cool. Hyrith says, iron is soft and brittle until it is hardened by the forge. All right, here we are. It is that time. Welcome and thank you to everyone listening in to Morning Journal. We passed the top of the hour, so I want to just say real quick, thanks for being here. Thanks for spending some time with me. And I just want to take a second to acknowledge some folks that are in the room. Mo just came in. I'll start at the bottom of the list. I know Mo is like, let me get situated, but I just want to let you know Mo is going live right after this stream, I think, for go to work. So if you are listening on Spoon and you want to find somewhere else to hang out when I'm done, go hang out with Mo. Listen to Mo as she gets ready for work. Shout out to MK. It's been a minute since I've seen you. It's great to have you back listening. Nivik is here. Welcome. I don't know if we met before, but thank you for being here. Quasha Burtz is here, part of the Purple Gang. Right now, the newest member of the Purple Gang. Kaloli Short Jams, Lowly Needles is in the house. Vita Hermosa, always bringing great insights to the conversation, a great perspective. Pandora, always in the cut, listening in. We got Never Rose, beautiful, talented musician who I'm happy to see listening in. I hope that things are going well with you. And if you're up late, this might be a little bit, you might be trying to get settled in. But I hope that everything is great with you and your family. We have the eloquent and intelligent, insightful Hyrith listening in as well. Jehovah Thickness is here. Captain Phantom Paradox. Abby, probably with the baby somewhere quiet, sleeping. Bex is here. The Pink Princess of Spoon. SO, holding that blicky, the accountability queen of Spoon. Shout out to SO. I really appreciate you for holding us down. And I know we got Ant Capone and Cybershots listening in on YouTube. Thank y'all for being here. All right, we're gonna get ready to go to the next prompt if you're ready for it. Yo, look at there. Molly Whopper just came in. Jehovah Thickness perked up. Love it. Love it. All right. Thank y'all. Here we go. Let's get into our next prompt. Vita says, I only get up this early for you, G. Well, that means a lot. I'm glad that you find this experience valuable enough to get up and get ready to get engaged in a great conversation. And I definitely appreciate that. So let's get into the next prompt. So make a controversial assertion right now. You can let me know what you think about it. But in many ways, greatness is a decision. Greatness, in many ways, is a decision, or is a series of decisions that you make over and over again. Just like learning is about, a lot of learning is repetition and perseverance. Greatness is very much a series of decisions that you make over and over again. Molly Whopper, thank you for the like. I appreciate you. So let's frame it this way. I have decided that I want to be great at what? Welcome in, Kalina. Kalo says, okay, this is a part of the stream where I go to sleep. I got you, Kaloli. It is what it is. It kind of, yeah, I mean, what, it's 2 in the morning over there? 1 in the morning over there, something like that. All right, let me open up the request box for y'all. Kalina says, I'm falling. Oh no, Kalina says you had to break off the engagement. I'm sorry to hear that. Aunt Capone says that I want to be great at being a better man. I want to be a better man all around. I just, Oh, I didn't mean to show that one. I just want to be So Kalina, Mo can relate. Mo had to break off an engagement as well. So there is something on the other side. Oh, well, yeah. So Rita Hermosa says, I want to be great at being me, who I was born to be, great at my purpose, the purpose that God has for me. And what would you say that is? What would you say that is? Ghost Heart, welcome, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Jehovah Thickness says, music. I want to be great at music, mostly due to the fact that I grew up in performing arts schools. I was in chorus for speech therapy. And I don't know what it is that when I try to say the word speech therapy, I sounded like I needed it. Let me read that sentence again. I was in chorus for speech therapy. Music has gotten me through some tough times. And I know that Britt, you were in band. You were in an HBCU band. So you were out there really putting it down. Talented flautist. So Kalina, everybody, give me some cross fingers, lucky fingers in the chat for Kalina. Kalina has a final today, so best wishes on that. Jehovah Thickness also be making them beats. I hope you study, Kalina, because all these cross fingers ain't gonna do nothing for you if you ain't ready. All right. So Esso says, I want to be great at being the designer of my own destiny. I want to be great at being the designer of my own destiny. Isn't that something? Isn't that amazing? That it's really when you wake up to the possibility or when you wake up to the fact, the realization that you do indeed have the power to design your destiny in so many ways. I know yesterday SO was talking about we were talking about the most beautiful thing that we see from where we sit, and SO says I can see the vision for a bright future that I'm living into. So when you have that clarity and you can see it, then the steps before you become more apparent. So love that. So Hyrith says that I want to be great at empathy. I want to be better at feeling the reality of others and sensing what they need and what they are being dishonest about. I'd like to be able to help heal others. So Hyrith says, I'm going to need to be all up in your business. Hyrith says, I need for you to keep a buck. I need for you to keep it a buck with me, both in word and deed. Don't front on me. Don't front on me. I know quit playing with me. I want to know. I can appreciate that. If it's coming from a good place, because it is true. It is true. I mean, we don't need to rehash your experience, but it is true to, even if it's your intention to be helpful, the fact that most people have a really hard time asking for the help that they need. And a lot of times there's a lot of shame around what people are dealing with. And if it's your intention to help, it's great to be able to sense what a person needs and not to force them in their darkest and most hurtful moment. You can really, just that quiet assistance that you can give someone, like low key, you can kind of see and sense what they need. That is a really powerful gift. And it encourages and opens up the ability for people to trust you to tell you. Hello, Ren. Welcome in. It's great to see you. Imagine a world where you can simply help those in need without having to ask. In a world. Hold on a second. Hold on. I gotta get in my bag real quick. In a world where everybody is keeping it real and you can help without needing to ask. All right. Let's see what we got here. I want to be great at giving myself time to heal and recuperate when things happen to me. I don't dwell enough to process and heal properly. I just move on. So I want to get better at giving myself time to heal. So everybody put an F in the chat, doves in the chat for Jehovah's Thickness and the cold food that she's going to be forced to ingest since the delivery is 20 minutes away and maybe late. F's in the chat, doves and F's in the chat for Jehovah's Thickness. Esso, is Esso bringing your food all the way from Cali or what? So mom is here, folks. Everybody, green hearts in the chat. Green hearts in the chat. My mom is here. How you doing, mama? Hope you doing good this morning. So y'all better stop acting up. Don't you know? Uh, always got to put green hearts in the chat for my mom's favorite color. Okay, I've decided I want to be great. That is the prompt. And while you're thinking about that, go ahead and be reminded, in case no one has told you today, I'm here to tell y'all that y'all are beautiful. Someone anonymously put that in the request box and also is handing you a cookie to keep your blood sugar at a level that works. Vita Hermosa says, hello, future mother-in-law. Don't pay her no mind. Oh, man. How dare you hit on me in front of my mom? That's bold right there. Just so you know too, like, she could see the chat because I broadcast the chat on YouTube. So she could see that. She's like, I don't care. I want her to see it. Okay. Vita says, I'm gonna shoot the shot, whatever. I'm always open. I'm shooting the shot. All right, so are we ready for the next prompt? Go ahead and let me know. Drop me a heart in the chat if we're ready for the next prompt. All right, let's do it. So we just shared, a lot of us just shared what it is that we want to be great at. So let's take a look at that question a little bit more deeply and get a little bit more specific. Kalina says, tell grandma G I said hi. Welcome in, Deadpool. Thank you for being here. We are talking about what must you learn to get where you want to go? So we talked about what we want to be great at. So now let's think about if that's our intention. If it's our intention to reach a certain level, is there something specific is there a specific course of action that you can take to get you where you want to go? I think that a lot of times we have, just kind of like vague notions, and maybe it's clear in our mind, but we haven't articulated it. But if you don't have sort of something that you can grab hold of, that you can implement on a daily basis, or a concrete step that you can take, sometimes you can just procrastinate forever. If you don't put it in terms that, terms that you can take action on, it's hard to know when you're growing in the right direction. And maybe the step that you take won't be the right one. But it's a step that you have intentionally taken in service of where it is that you want to go. So Harvard says, LOL, probably a financial investment. My dream is to start a commune in the forest for good people, but that's expensive. So I need to get that money. He says it's expensive to be magnanimous. Magnanimity is expensive. Well, if you loathe money, the chances of it coming to you are slim. Oh man, the chances of getting it are slim if you hate it. So here we go. Esso says we have to be okay with changing our mind and therefore our direction. Yeah, changing your mind is underrated because I think that we do have this bias towards consistency, and we have a huge investment in our identity as it has existed throughout our lives. And sometimes we can hunker down on a thought or an idea. We can hunker down on it and be like, that's just how I am. That's just who I am. And you want to be consistent. You don't want to be flaky or wishy washy. But sometimes you learn something. Sometimes something new comes into your awareness. Some new information emerges that you need to take into consideration. And if your mind is closed, or if you have this huge blind spot because of your overinvestment in your current identity, that it doesn't allow you to even consider the possibility, then you might suffer because of that. Changing your mind is a revolutionary, like sincerely changing your mind and being open to that possibility requires a lot of courage, because people will point out the fact that you changed your mind, especially if you dug in on something and like, oh, you used to say this and that. Well, what happened to all of this and that? She's like, hey, change my mind, fam. What you want me to say? Oh man, I changed my mind, fam. Hey, changed my mind. But I thought, hey, change my mind. What you want me to tell you? I changed my mind, man. All right, Cyber Shots, got to go back to work. Thanks for stopping through, Cyber Shots. I really appreciate you, fam. So Kalina is studying to this music. Yeah, this could be study vibes for sure. So career-wise, Kalina wants to get a bachelor's in criminal justice to be either an NCIS agent or you want to be a paralegal. So you got to learn that stuff. That's specific. NCIS. I love that. Vita Hermosa says, you must learn to get up and move in your mind and body to get where you want to go. It's on you. Yeah. Get up and move. Get up and move. So Britt says, I got to learn to stay in my own lane, try not to. You just need to learn how to stay in your own lane. I can't make sense of the rest of it. But yeah, you be out here swerving lanes, huh? You got to watch that traffic. Oh, one-up people. Stop trying to one-up people. Just stay in your own lane. It's cool. Just stay in your own lane. Okay. Steve is here from the Hold Up TV. What's happening, fam? Great to have you in this morning. The question, we've been talking about learning and education today. What must you learn to get where you want to go? Steve, you hear another autocorrect. The autocorrect gang is in the house. Abby says, I need to learn how to drive. Oh, I don't like the fact that if there's an emergency, I can't drive my family to the hospital. I also really need to build my credit. Love that. Vida Hermosa says, you must learn to get where you want to go, period. Jehovah Thinker says, my food is still 19 minutes away, and it was 20 minutes away 10 minutes ago. Sad black people noises. I'm trying to think. What do sad black people noises sound like? Oh, hold on a second. Let's see if I can find. Do they sound like R&B? We'll just. I have the answer. I'm pretty sure you don't want to know what it is. It's all right. We'll just move on. Kalina's trying to study, so we'll keep it. We'll let Kalina have her vibes and study. Oh man. Howard says, my credit score jumped 200 points when my financial separation from my ex went through. And also, I saved 15% on my car insurance. Oh man. 15 minutes could save you 15% on your car insurance too. All good things to know. Yeah. All right. Are we ready to go to the next prompt? Go ahead and drop me a heart in the chat and we can get into that. Acid Child is here. Welcome in, Acid Child. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that your day is going well. Oh, we got another response. So Esso says, first of all, I need to decide what I want and what I desire. 2, believe that I can obtain what I want and desire. 3, feel as if I've already attained it. 4, make the first 3 steps as a habit and keep focusing. Look, this is the blueprint right here, right? This is the blueprint right here. Keep, make those first 3 steps a habit. Like make winning automatic. And stay focused. I love that, SO. You know who has the lowest car insurance costs in the room right now? Abby. It's easier said than done, but you said it, I think that a lot of times we suffer because we're not clear about that stuff. The joke is, what do y'all care about what people think of you? Why are you asking? I love that. That's cute. Clearly, you care. We probably don't care quite as much as you since you asked that question. All right, let me just stop. Let's drop a heart in the chat if we are ready to go to the next prompt. We can do that. All right. Like I already did. I'm ready. I just want to say how proud I am of Mo for being so on time yesterday. I hope that can be, by the time I went to Mo's stream, Mo was already in the car on the road. I'm proud of you, Mo. All right, let's see. What is our next prompt? You said not today, though. That was a one-off. Okay. Essa says, the sky finally turned off the water. Okay. So one of the things that comes with one of the things that comes with learning is emotional risk. A lot of times there's an emotional risk in defining what it is that you want and being standing behind that decision. It's nice and cozy to be vague with it because even if you don't tell us what it is, and you don't need to tell us what it is, 100% you don't need to, but tell yourself what it is, right? That's an emotional risk. It's an emotional risk to claim what it is that you want to learn and where you want to go. Oh, Abby has to go. Abby, thank you so much for being here. It's always great to see you. I hope that you have a great day today. So, yeah, think about that for a second. Think about what is the emotional risk that you're willing to take. We can stay, we can stay very comfortable in the situation where we, in the situation where we're in, and never make the choice to grow and learn and do things differently because we feel safe there. But if we're talking about learning and growth, then there's going to be a risk involved, and most likely it's not the perilous risk of a parachute failing like the background. Usually it's an emotional risk. There's a fear of rejection or fear of failure or all those different things that pop up for us. So I guess what you have to do is calibrate your tolerance for that risk. How? Yeah. If you want to become a better man all around, like Aunt Capone, what is the scariest thing about that process? What conversation do you need to have? What move do you need to make differently? So let me open up the request box. This one is might be difficult to wrap your mind around in the moment, but let me say, it's always relevant to or advised if you don't have an answer right away, just to take note of this prompt. If you're on Spoon, you can swipe it away and screenshot it. And maybe it's something that you have to keep coming back to over and over again to really decide where am I in terms of my willingness and my openness to the risks that seem to be present in the next move that I'm going to make. And the biggest one is always, it's specific to you. It doesn't have to seem big to anyone else. No one else can judge the significance of the steps that you take. It's all about where you are right now. You don't want to compare yourself to other people. Just think about what is a very specific and concrete thing that I can do, a risk that I might have been avoiding that can get me there. So Kalina says the risk of getting rid of the bad people in my life. I can definitely appreciate that. I think that it's easy for us to say, yeah, just get rid of them. You don't need those toxic people in your life. We can all say that, and that would be the advice that everyone would give you. But the reality is, sometimes it's difficult to let go of even the things that we know are not great for us. Because if you have if you don't have an abundant perspective on relationships, it's hard to let go of what you have because you don't want to be left with nothing. So, Revolt Monkey, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. So Kalina says, I'm a people pleaser. So a lot of times that attracts the wrong people to you. People pleasers attract vampires because they know that you're like a mark. So yeah, Kalina will be there to hold me down, make me feel good, do what I want. So, all right, Kalina. You said you got to go at 7:45, so you just got a few minutes. That's cool. That's cool. So, Vita Hermosa says, all my emotions have already been risks. So, there ain't no more risks. Yeah, I've already done that. I've already rolled that dice. Acid Child says, I'm scared to love, so I tend to push people away. You're definitely not alone in that one. You're definitely not alone in that one. Jehovah Thickness says, my risks started this morning. I decided to spoil myself and get Uber Eats. And now I'm just sad because it's still 20 minutes away. I feel devastated and hurt. Mm. You know, it is a little bit of a roll of the dice this time of day to try to, it's kind of dicey to deal with deliveries at this time in the morning. There ain't a lot of people out doing stuff. So, Rip, you might as well go make a bowl of cornflakes, y'all. I don't know what kind of cereal you got in your house, but that's going to be breakfast. You better go ahead and work with them Rice Krispies and call it a day. Oh, man. The devastation. I'm just sitting on the floor despondent. I feel you, Britt. Acid Child, thank you so much for the like. I appreciate it. Eso says, the risk of being friends with someone I low-key find attractive. Ugh. Taking on an opportunity I don't feel qualified for. Yeah, being friends with someone you low-key find attractive because, you don't want to ruin it. They cool. And, being on the different pages on something like being on a different page with something like that is terrifying. It's like, oh, I'm kind of feeling you, yo. It's like, that's not the vibe. That's not the vibe. Yeah, okay. Well, can we go back to like before I said that? Not really. It's gonna be weird. So, yeah. And as far as the opportunity, I think that taking on an opportunity that you don't feel qualified for, let them be the judge. Let them be the judge. Don't disqualify yourself. Sunshine is here. Welcome in, Sunshine. Thank you for joining us. So Hyrith says, I think I might be ready to be part of a relationship again. But that's a huge step for me because of the traumas I'm recovering from. I'm afraid to be vulnerable to abuse again. Yeah, it might take a little bit of time. But I think that you're living in a very unique situation. So as long as you don't compromise the decisions that you've made about the way that you want to live your life to conform to what you think a potential relationship might be, then you might be okay, you know? Sunshine, thank you so much for the like. I appreciate that. If they are willing to accept you as you are and you're living in the direction that you want to be, then, you know, might be all right. So someone anonymously shares that saying yes to a date, if someone was to offer, I'm willing to say yes, but I'm still shy. Yeah. I think I might say yes if someone asks me out, even though I'm shy. That's good. It's good to have that openness. So Heaven Sent is here, or maybe Heaven Sent might have left because let's see. Is Heaven Sent here? Nah, Heaven Sent ain't here. Heaven Sent is high maintenance. If I don't acknowledge him right, he gone. He's like, well, I guess not this time. Jeez. Howard says, I keep getting people asking, but I panic and turn them down, kind of push them away. Well, I mean, you know, go easy. Go easy. All right. So you can continue to answer this question. There's a couple announcements I want to do for like new folks in the room. Just to kind of let you know, I guess one special announcement is tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I am going to be the special guest host of Conversations That Matter, exclusively on Green Room. You can see Steve is here. Hold Up TV is here. I'm going to be hosting over there, hosting Conversations That Matter. I have big shoes to fill. You know, Steve is a phenomenal interviewer, but he has trusted me to guide the conversation this evening. You know, so I'm going to do that. So if you are on Green Room, check it out. So that's going to be 8 p.m. tonight, where I'll be guest hosting over there. And also, in way of announcements, you know, you might have just got here, you didn't know. This is Morning Journal. This is session number 162. And we're here every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern Time on Spoon, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. So I'm excited to have all of you here, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Yeah. How do y'all? I've listened to this beat. I've listened to this little intermission. I listen to it just throughout the day. Anytime I get ready to change tasks, I listen to that. I listen to this. But yeah, just a quick heads up on that. So are y'all ready to get into the last prompt? The last prompt of the morning. Drop me a heart in the chat. We're ready for the last donut of the morning. Emma says, it can't be the last prompt until I'm drying my hair. Oh no, what have I done with my time and my life? So to be fair, I started about 2 minutes earlier. I started the prompt at like 2 minutes before the top of the hour. So, I mean, So we talked about those emotional risks, right? That was the prompt leading into this. Now it's about examining the commitment that attends any decision that we make. It's not really a decision until we make the commitment. And the commitment is only a commitment that we make to ourselves. And ultimately, it's you that you have to be accountable to. Of course, it's nice to have other people around that can give you the support and hold you accountable in the ways if it's necessary. But ultimately, it's you that has to learn how to trust yourself. And it can be difficult to trust yourself with the full awareness of all the ways that you have fallen short. Ghost Heart is dropping flowers and cookies in the chat as you contemplate the commitment that you are willing to make to yourself, for today. Let us know, what might that be? Two days, folks. 2 days. And also, just as a heads up for folks who are watching, I should be able to go live Friday morning on Spoon. It might be a stripped down experience because I'm going to be down in North Carolina. I don't know if video is going to work there. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be live streaming to all the platforms. We'll see. Because, one, it's early in the morning and there's people around and I don't want to be up early making a bunch of noise and, not that it's loud. It's not loud. It's just me talking. But, you got to be respectful. I might adjust the time a little bit while I'm down there. We'll see. I do know that I will be doing the audio portion. Might not have all of the bells and whistles and the music and all the stuff. I'm not going to take my whole setup down there. But we will be connecting and we'll see about the video part. If I'm not able to stream the video, I will be posting videos on YouTube. So you'll be getting content from me. Just as a quick reminder. So Vita Hermosa says, I trust myself to get better, be better, and stay aligned with my true self. Get better, be better, stay aligned with my true self. Alignment is so important. It's underrated. It's worth the time to seek that alignment. Sure, you can roll down the road a little bit out of line, but then you have to keep fighting the wheel to stay on track, and things start wearing unevenly if you're out of alignment. And next thing you know, you overcorrect and you end up causing all sorts of problems. So taking the time to line things up, making, just giving a little bit of extra thought and care and attention can definitely be worthwhile. Jason Voorhees is here, and it's not even the 13th. How we doing, Jason? It's neither 13th nor Friday. And here you are. All right. So Heinrich says, I trust myself to stay on task and not let anxiety beat me up. I'm not going to let anxiety beat me up. I have important things I need to accomplish today. So stay on task. So what does overcorrect mean to me? So overcorrecting is um, choosing an intervention or a remedy that is per proportion of the things that you're trying to fix. It's like, sometimes there's a small problem and you make a heavy-handed, so you seek a heavy-handed overdosed solution. So if someone slights you, or you have a disagreement with someone, your remedy is, okay, well, you just can't be in my life. Well, you have a bad relationship experience, and you said, I'm done with relationships. So just not being proportional in your response. Like, think about when you're driving and you start skidding and you swerve back the other way to try to get back, but you take it too far and you stay in your skid. You don't swat a fly with a jackhammer. Essa says, guilty. I be doing that, yo. I be doing that. I be making these definitive life statements based off of one experience. Like, well, I guess that's over. Eso says, I trust that I will act on inspired thought, that I can visualize and then materialize, that I don't need to know how, as long as I know the direction I want to go, and that I got my back when I am down. I got my back when I'm down. Visualize and materialize. I love that. That's a great space to come from. Jehovah Thickness is back. Are we back with food? Or are we still despondent, sitting on the floor, regretting our decisions? So Vita Hermosa says we have to find balance. That's what I'm learning, balance in all aspects. I think that the one thing that we sometimes misattribute as a property of balance is the fact that you have to be moving to achieve balance. You can't find balance by just standing still, because everything else is moving, and you have to be moving as well. Even if it's the intentional circulation of your breathing, you have to move to maintain balance, to find and maintain it. So shout out to Britt for the $50 gift card. Hey. And this is less of a response, but more of an announcement. Jason Voorhees says that I haven't been on the big screen in theaters since 2009, so I have to return soon. All right. So Britt says I called in and I made the sad black people noises, and I got a $50 gift card. Shout out to Vita Hermosa for filling in for Noble Ancient and telling me how much time I got left. Usually Noble is the one that reads the clock for me. But yes, we are here, coming down to the last couple minutes of the stream. And for those of you who kind of mark your progress through the day based on where we are in the stream, you know that it's at about this time that we switch to something that sounds a little bit like this. All right, this has been session number 162 of the Morning Journal. Emo's like, no. Again, Emo, I did start about 2 minutes early just to try to get all the streams up. Ghost Heart, you did make it into the stream. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Thanks to everyone who listening and viewing on our video platforms. It's always great to have the interaction there as well. We will be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Eastern time. And I got 2 days until I go home. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, peace out. Peace out to all the folks watched on video. We are closing that one down. I hope y'all have a great day.